Hello everyone, this is SkyTryke and I wrote a book and it's publishing. Alright, so this is the too long don't read or don't watch version of this video because I'm gonna eventually yap in the initial video. I'm publishing and releasing a book, and the book's called Beyond Heaven, as you can see right here. Beyond Heaven is set to be released on Tuesday, July 16th, 2024, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or simply, because it might be a little late, Wednesday, July 17th, 2024. Now, what is Beyond Heaven? Beyond Heaven is a fantasy action-adventure novel. It's about a woman named Yosei Tenshi, as you can see around here on the bottom left. That's Yosei Tenshi, or my VTuber avatar if you haven't noticed. We follow her, embarking to a new world as she discovers her identity, her friends, and her purpose throughout her journey in this action-packed, anime-inspired fantasy. She finds herself in constant dangers with villains and Kaiju taking the planet hostage, and to make matters worse, the devils in the underworld are restless as they wreak havoc and invade the world of our adventurers. Perilous times await Yosei Tenshi as she uncovers Hell's unholy plan and the rise of the ever-infamous Satan. With the battle between heaven and hell in sight, can Yosei protect her world and beyond? That's what Beyond Heaven is about. So it takes a lot of inspiration from anime, Japanese culture. It also has a little satire in here, with a little asterisk. You'll probably have to watch the video about the satire in this, but it's an action-filled adventure with Yosei Tenshi as the main character. And there's going to be ebooks, physical versions, like paperback and hardcovers when it's released. Now, you'll find the ebooks on Amazon, Google Books, as well as in distribution with Drafted Digital, so you'll find it in Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, Biblioteca, or Kobo, and other places as well. Paperback versions will be on Amazon, and Ingram Sparks is in the works. On hardcovers, it's just Amazon, unfortunately. But that's alright. Pricing TBD to be determined. Ebooks will be potentially $3.99, box standard price, or potentially lower, $3.49, possibly. Paperbacks will be $12.99 and hard books will be $19.99. More information will be available if you check out SkyTryke.com, SkyTryke.com, on the screen right here, as well as a link in the description below. Check my website out, play around with the buttons, find out what's about this book and about the characters, and I'll see you there on the book's release. Or if you stay to actually too long, do watch on this crazy video, because it's like 30 something pages, 30 something minutes long as it does. See ya. So as the title and the intro says, I'm writing a book and I'm having it backwards. Also, I don't want to reveal my identity, so I'm wearing this weird Miku X getup. Not really. But yeah, I wrote a book and I'm publishing it. Isn't that neat? But yeah, this book was written during the pandemic of 2020, and man, I wrote this thing in like a couple of days, and turns out, I neglected it for 4 years, and I stumbled across it again. I'm like, you know what? Let's publish it. Let's publish the freaking thing, and I'm like, okay. And that kind of happened. So yeah, this is what I've been working on this past few months, trying to format this thing and to get it published. So what the heck is Beyond Heaven? That's what the book is about. So that's what I should have said in the beginning, right? It's all over the place. I can't think. It took me a while to set this up. I digress. Beyond Heaven is a fantasy action-adventure novel where we have a main character named Yosei Tenshi right there. If you can see it, I don't know if I'm on camera, but it's on the bottom left. And we follow her journey and her adventure Beyond Heaven. That's basically the most general sense of like descriptions you could ever think of. But if I wanted to go to detail, I could kind of read the back. That's not really a spoiler. So again, the book is called Beyond Heaven. Oh, hi there. Are you an adult and still like anime? If you like a satire within a serious fiction, then this might be for you. We follow a mortal named Yosei Tenshi embarking to a new world as she discovers her identity, her friends, and her purpose throughout her journey in this action-packed, anime-inspired fantasy. Yosei finds herself in constant danger, with villains and kaiju taking the planet hostage. To make matters worse, the devils in the underworld are restless as they attack, wreak havoc, and invade the world of our adventurer. Perilous times await Yosei as she uncovers Hell's unholy plan and the rise of the ever-infamous Satan. Yep. With the battle between heaven and hell in sight, can Yosei protect her world and beyond? Find out next time! In this book, if you read it. Did I mention it had hidden satire? Thus, become indulged and amused in interactive brain teasers as satire is lathered all within. Can you find the hidden meanings and topics within this novel while still being immersed in this story-rich epic? And then I have a little disclaimer here. There's going to be a bunch of those. There is mature and graphic material in this novel, such as gore and subjective topics. It's also not as comedic of a satire as one would assume. It's also not that offensive, but reader discretion is advised. So that's what Beyond Heaven is to a degree. It's a novel, a fantasy about a woman named Yosei Tenshi right there. And you might be raising your eyebrows. Maybe some of you don't care, or you're not even watching this, or don't even know who the heck SkyTryke is. That's alright, there's only 48 of you. But you'll be like, holy crap, wait, that's his VTube avatar. Wait, that's who she was? A book character? That one on the bottom left, or right there, or wherever I'm gonna put my VTuber avatar at the same time as my physical self? You'll understand that. But yeah, yeah, that's my VTuber avatar. This Yosei Tenshi character. I've always made her like this, and for those people who didn't subscribe to me and thought I was a trap or something, it's not that way. Just because I'm a dude with a woman's avatar, it was a character the whole time. I made her in 2021, the VTuber avatar, but I wrote the book in March 2020. Anyways, before I go on a tangent, that's what Beyond Heaven's about. The fantasy, and it has notes of satire. There's a lot of them, kind of subtle satire. Initially when I wrote this freaking thing, I would say it probably was offensive and blatant. Maybe it was a lot more blatant than this one, I'll tell you for sure, but it was probably offensive, and so I toned it down. And so now what you read is, it's a subtle satire. There's some subjective topics in there, but it's mostly making fun of myself, really, and my knowledge of Japanese and culture, and as well as just other topics. But regarding the other topics, it could be subjective. It could be offensive. I don't know. You just have to read to figure it out, but that's a disclaimer. So if you're offended easily, if you're not over 18 plus, don't read this book. Honestly, it's not offensive, really. I don't think it's offensive at all. Let me be clear here. If I never told you there was satire in this novel, if I never said it was even subtle, you probably wouldn't even realize it. Unless you read some of the blatant ones, you're like, what the heck is that? It's topical. Well, that's weird. But yeah, there's some satire in here, but it's not meant to really shine, I guess. The story shines. You'll read through it, and you're like, oh, it's a good story or a bad story. I don't know. But you'll never know this satire until you read it maybe a second time or a third time. Then you start to dig deep, and you're like, whoa, there's some crazy topics that I didn't even know. He hit that one deep. And, I think that's a bonus, honestly, if you read a book more than once for a different viewpoint. That's pretty cool, I guess. Anyways, yeah, but seriously, it's just a fantasy about a woman named Yosei Tenshi going beyond heaven, protecting her world, It's even deeper than that. It's just a general kind of description and a little bit of an anime-inspired book, isekai, if you will. And maybe just, if you could call it a Western light novel, I don't know, but, the kind of satire on that stuff, publishing this crap and all the Anyways, I digress. I was gonna go on a tangent like I always do. There will be a TLDR. There will be chapters in this thing, so I don't rant too much because that's what I do. I'm a YouTuber, kind of as a hobby. I'm a yapper, yapology, and then I cosplay as Miku for the Miku Expo. I got my Miku. Anyways, isn't that right, Miku? Yeah. So that's Beyond Heaven. You guys see the work in progress proof. I got this one from Lulu. As you see the bars, you know that's from KDP, Amazon, but there still needs to be work. I forgot to put my author name, obviously. And then, yeah, there is some discrepancies with Lulu's on this, but anyways, what was I going for? Where the heck is this novel going to be? When it's going to be released? That's the important questions, right? What a freaking dingleberry. Alright, so as you can see in the back of the screen, you can find a lot of information at SkyTryke.com. Right here. That's my personal author website, SkyTryke, SkyTryke.com. Where you can find several information about Beyond Heaven, such as the book and a brief description of what it's about. It's a fiction, fantasy, action, adventure, satire, and somewhat light novel, which takes a lot of inspiration from Japanese culture, while satirizing a lot of topics and myself. And then just the same Yosei Tenshi embarks to a new world. You can find out my YouTube channels, see the universal book links when it comes to be released. And it's being released around Tuesday, July 16th, 2024, 8 to 9 p.m. EST. Now, I say it might be Wednesday, July 17th because Amazon does a weird thing with 12 a.m. GMT, which is like the day before 8 p.m. It's strange, but just be expected that it might come Wednesday, July 17, 2024, or late in Tuesday. So I repeat, the book Beyond Heaven will be released Tuesday, July 16, 2024, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's good. But you could check out my website and just play around, click some buttons like this one or the I button. They're both the same. And you can see about the characters. I'll briefly scroll that. That's some world map. Might be a work in progress. I don't know. And there you go. Now, where the heck are we going to do with this? You could do contacts. Contact me here. Keep scrolling, click some YouTube buttons, and then see my YouTube playlist. Unless you're here already, then that doesn't really matter. But, yeah. And where are you going to find this book, I guess, is you're going to be primarily on Amazon. So, when it comes to electronic and digital copies, the ebook copies will be on Amazon, Google Books or Google Play Books, Google Play Store, right? Google Bookstore. You know what I mean. And also distributed through Draft to Digital. So you'll find it in places like Amazon Books, Biblioteca, Kobo, Viblio, Barnes & Noble, which else? There's a lot. But you'll also find that there. So those are, I'll put some text on the screen so you know where to find the electronic versions when it comes out on Tuesday, July 16, or Wednesday, July 17, right? Now the physical copies will be both paperback and hardcover. Now paperback will be on Amazon. You could get it in also I'm trying to work on the wide distribution for Ingram Sparks, but right now I think it's validating or verifying me, so I can't do a single thing on the website. So who knows? But because it's Ingram Sparks, it's gonna be, you could probably find it anywhere. Physical versions if you request it in your library. Who knows? But I know Amazon, for some reason, no one wants to work with them when it comes to wide distribution. Anyway, yeah, it's no work in progress. So paperback copies are on Amazon and distributed through Ingram Sparks eventually. And hardcovers will unfortunately just be only on Amazon. I don't know if I have enough time to kind of reformat everything for Ingram Sparks. I know they have the dust jacket. But, you know, what can we do? I don't want to rush these things out. Maybe it'll show up, maybe it won't. Who knows? Unfortunately, there won't be an audio book of this. I really do want it. I love if this would be voice acted. There's a lot of Japanese in here. Again, disclaimer, this is from my knowledge, so don't trust anything I say in this book. It's fiction. Remember, it's fiction. It's fantasy. Reader's discretion is advised. Read the copyright page. Yeah. Anyways, the pricing. The pricing for the ebooks will be $3.99, just box standard price, $3.99. Everyone seems to conform to that type of pricing. It's good for the royalties for the author, as well as just cheap enough for anyone to buy. But to me, I'm like, I'm a new author, so why not just do $3.49? I mean, it doesn't hurt me, it doesn't hurt you, so it might be lower. It could be $3.49, it could be $3.99. It really, really depends. I don't really know. I really want to bring this to the world. I don't really want to charge anything crazy, but I'm not making like $1 anyways or $2. So, anyways, for sale, it's kind of sad. But anyways, I digress. What the heck am I talking about? Paper book pricing, I think, will be $12.99, so kind of standard as well, or below average. And hardcovers will be $19.99. So you can see the spike jump. So Ingram Sparks, it's like a $7 increase for a hardcover, so it's quite expensive. But I mean, it's really nice. I mean, if I have it right here, so that's good. It's working though. Look at that. Holy crap! I got things that's for proof. Now I need to fix those. But yeah, so to recap, Beyond Heaven, my book, is going to be released on Tuesday, July 16th, 2024, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, or no later than July 17th. 2024 on Wednesday. You can find this on electronic versions, ebooks, or physical copies such as paperback and hardcovers. Ebooks will be available on Amazon, Google Books, and distributed through Drafted Digital. So you can find it in Apple Books, Biblioteca, Kobo, Biblio, Barnes & Noble. I think I repeated those again, but you know what I mean. Paperbacks can be found on Amazon and distributed later through Ingram Sparks. So you can find it probably anywhere. Maybe. Depending on the 65,000 places Ingram Sparks has, right? And hardcovers is just on Amazon. And we'll have a universal book link on my website, which is SkyTryke.com. SkyTryke.com. So yeah, that's Beyond Heaven. I think I covered most of the points. Yeah, but when I wrote this thing in a pandemic, there was really nothing to do at the time. I mean, a month of shutdowns for me. And I just remembered as a kid, you remember the SpongeBob episode of The Box and Imagination, right? That. As a kid, this is kind of like what I was doing. I basically, if I wasn't playing video games, I was usually grounded. I would get my stuffed animals or action figures and just fight and play around with them, make a story. And all these childhood stories, all these memories that I had, it kind of rematerialized into Beyond Heaven. So, I'm gonna show you guys this a little bit, maybe. It's still in work in progress, but so those childhood stories, man, they kind of built this book. And I remember two stories in general. One of them being Dragon Knight. I mean, this guy was a cool, hero dude. Like, he was the typical cool dude, the hero guy that saves a damsel in distress. He could transform into a knight that looked like a dragon. He was cool. But I mean, I guess I got inspiration from this game called Vindictus from Nexon. Anyway, that thing came out like in 2010, and I played it when I was in like 2012 under SkyTryke and FireTryke. My goodness, I don't even know how old my IGN is. It's like 2008, 2007. I don't know. I had the SkyTryke IGN for a while at that point, but I only made my channel in 2015 when I was kind of old enough to do a lot of things. But holy crap, 2012, I was like a little kid. Anyways, speaking about Dragon Knight, Vindictus, there's transformations in this game called Dark Knight and Paladin, and those transformations were freaking wicked cool. Like, there was two stages of transformations. The first one and the second, and the animations were just it was sick. It was so awesome, and the combat in the game is always for me, it's just the best combat I've ever played in my life. Just Vindictus for MMORPG, you can't beat it, honestly. I think. Too bad it's run by I'm never running. I digress. But yeah, I think I got inspiration from that. But Dragon Knight was that cool dude who would just defeat the bad guys and the villains and just go to heaven and defeat the forces of hell. That type of story. And it was a very simple story. No, but imagination, as a kid, gets you very far. And then there was a second story called Soul Weapons. This soul was a little bit more intricate because souls, I defined them as not people, but as a weapon. And now you didn't know what weapon a soul was. And so these soul weapons, they would find and select people that they deemed or chose to be worthy of wielding them. And so you get this whole story of like different people getting different weapons you don't know and different powers and unlocking. It's just pretty cool. So I can't get too much detail about that because it might correlate to Beyond Heaven to a degree, maybe, but not really. But yeah, those childhood stories kind of made this book kind of, I don't know, but yeah. For those people who followed me on this channel, 2015, that's like a decade. Crazy. And we started small. We're still small, but that's all right. Your support still means the world to me. But yeah, what else was gonna talk about? I should just end this video here. But yeah, you got the information about the release date. When this is published. What it's about a little bit. I guess I should kind of disclaim more about the satire because there's gonna be people who are triggered. The thing is, I don't know how sensitive this generation is. I really don't know. Coming from the 2000s era, I'm a millennial, and that's like the attitude era, right? Coming from both like 1990s and then the 2000s is like as a kid, every single slur and curse word. That's the thing. Area. You know it all. You heard it all. You probably been I've been bullied. It's bad, man. Racism and everything. And just because I'm a small boy that's from a different country, I was born in America, man. I'm a United States of America, Sid. Anyways, it don't matter to people though. They keep discriminating because you're different, and I didn't want to be too sad about it. But the satire, that's what I was talking about. The satire here, it's like, I don't know if it's just offensive because I grew up in an era or a period where it's like everything wasn't offensive because we could just say whatever the heck we wanted. And in this age of time, we can't say any of the bad words of back then, probably, without some repercussion of some sort or someone being offended. And so the book, it has some topics. I mean, like the prologue says, I think they have to be an adult, 18 plus age, or maybe not. Maybe kids can take it better than the adult generation. That's kind of sad. Ouch. But no, that's what kind of the prologue says. Speaking about the prologue, don't read the prologue. The prologue is the biggest satire of all of them. Like I'm trying to. I know I spoiled some of it, but honestly, it's just like it builds some of the story to a degree. It kind of lets you know what the story is, how to, kind of its foundation, I guess. It really, if you skip the prologue, you wouldn't even know that it's part of the story. It's kind of not really even part of the story. It mostly describes satire and why I'm really writing satire to begin with, just because I thought it was funny. You just put some little topics and, little divots of information or topics just like laugh at or just exaggerate. And I don't know why I did this, but it's in the book anyway. So once again though, if I never told you there was satire in this book, you probably wouldn't realize it was in it. But the benefit of it, you can read it again and again and just say like, holy crap, I didn't know this had that was in chapter XYZ, So yeah, it's really not offensive, truly. I don't promise or swear, but because I don't know. But I personally don't think it's offensive. I personally think anybody over age 16 can read this book. Honestly, it reads like a possible anime. Maybe it's more like a light novel, I guess. But I don't know. That's why I satirize some of these things like reading and publishing, because when I was a kid in literature class, and it's still true now, that publishing and doing anything like academic of sorts, even if it's just content creation like this, writing a book, requires so much like this high strung, like strict requirements and professionalism for some reason. And for me, it always bugged me because it's like, my God. I remember watching an Ingram Sparks like webinar recently too about like some book stuff and publishing, and it was strangely really snobby. I don't know why they sounded like that. Maybe they didn't, but it was like, oh, you need this, you need that. Oh, these people that do this, you can't spell this like that. You gotta do your spell check and get an editor, get a publisher. It's like people don't have money, guys. Yeah, they can invest money, but if no one can afford it, that's why I did everything myself, self-publishing. Even wrote the whole novel, wrote the whole illustration, drew the whole illustration. Because first of all, I hope you guys like the illustrations. I did this. It took me longer than it took me to write the book, but I wanted to commission an artist. But then the price to commission an artist for just one half portrait anime drawing, I mean, it's not, my drawings aren't like professional looking like anime drawings. It looks like that, I guess, like you would see in like really professional animes. But I mean, it's decent, I guess. But you're charging, the artist would charge 4 half body characters, and not only that, it's not a commission, I think, right? Because it's now a commercial thing. So you're paying the artist salary, right? Is that how it works? Because when you commission a work, like say this is for personal use. You pay the artist, they give you the rights to have artwork, right? But what if you take that and you sell it? That doesn't no. You have to do a contract or some sort of salary, because it's now you need to hire that artist to do that because you're selling a work that's using that artist's work. And no one has that type of money unless you do. Let alone, how get a formatter or an editor or a publisher. I don't know, I sound smug, but they were smelling so smug. I'm like, I don't have money, my guys. Anyways, I did it myself, so I hope you guys enjoyed that one. It took me so long. The benefit of this is I had these sketches, most of them sketches on 2020. I have to look at hair on this freaking thing. Anyways, so most of the characters, Yosei, that was pretty easy because we know Yosei. I've worked with her on VTube, Vroid Studio to make her, as well as I know how she generally looks like. Mizu, I really didn't know what she would look like. I did have a sketch of her, but it was still in the works. So was Hyakuma. But Ishii, which is the guy on the top left, the stone guy. I'm spoiling a lot. I gotta stop. He didn't change at all from the 2020 sketch. He had that same brown hair, the jade green on the front end, the little stub on the horns. Same design. I kept them like that. Man, these characters were from 2020. Anyways, I don't want to spoil too much, but I'm proud of the logo, especially. You see this logo. You can also look at it on the website to a degree. But as someone who had like graphics design in high school, this was one of my favorite classes to just make logos after logos. And I had so many designs for Beyond Heaven, and this one just stuck to me because I love the symmetry on the E. The 2 triangles A and B, it's this, whatever, but I love the symmetry of it. It looks really sleek, nice symmetry. And then I got a little creative with the capital, not the capital, but the lowercase b and the lowercase d to make Beyond. And I thought that was interesting, and that stuck to me. And so I used that idea from it. And I honestly, I'm gonna put a little thing on the floor because that's effective. Look at all these, my guy. There's more pages, but I'm like, hey, this one looks so good. I like my idea right here. And so you kind of see that I was getting that design really locked in the double E like that. So yeah, that was fun. I'll show you some more sketches. There's original Yosei. She looked pretty terrible proportions. I had to work that out so much, it was terrible. But when you were just working. Hey, talented. Hey, great. Where was I? I'm just ranting at this point. Oh, my hoodie. But yeah, that's Beyond Heaven. I really liked it, and also the spine, of course, is a little bit different. I don't know if this is gonna show. This Beyond Heaven, I kept the same heaven with the triangle theme, and I tried to extend that to the Beyond. The D was easy for the triangle, but at the same time, the B was just weird. But I wanted to keep the triangles because, you know, it's left, right, up, down. It's beyond. I gotta stop talking, I think. I'm spoiling maybe things. I mean, to be honest here, I mostly spoiled some of the symbolism and some of the satire in this novel. But regarding what's in this book, I mean, in a general sense, you just know it's about Yosei Tenshi and her journey beyond heaven. So, yeah. Oh, freaking heck. Here it is. For my subscribers. We finally got there's gonna be chapters in this walk thing. I wanted to do originally just a voiceover, and then I'm like, how I'm gonna, and then it just turned out to be a live recording instead with no takes, because this is 30 minutes already. There's gonna be a TLDR voiceover in the beginning, so you get like a 2-minute just rundown. But for my subscribers, I know I know it's just 48 of you. I know some of you don't even pay attention to my content or even care about my, and you just subscribe for your support. But that's the thing, that's support nonetheless. So I want to thank you guys for being there with me, even if it's just 48 of you. And I know half of you are probably just family. I say probably just, they are. So maybe just 20 of you guys are actually people. Wow. They're not. Hey, look, they're people, not bots. So, oh yeah. So honestly, for the 20 people out there that are my friends or online friends, or maybe even actual subscribers that I don't even know in real life or online, that would be awesome. I don't know, but I want to do something for you guys because of your support. Because you've been here for almost a decade on this crazy, stupid channel. I really do want to grow this channel, though. I want to, like, you know, I could play more interesting games, or play more games, or join a group of gamers or YouTube gamers and make some good content. Like, you know, back in the day when you had gaming, you had Smosh, you had Rooster Teeth or Let's Plays channels, you have Smitty, and you had so many, and it's just fun to watch these guys. You know, as a kid. Anyways, back to the subscribers. I'll talk about that later, maybe. I wanted to give you guys a free paperback copy. We'll work something out. I think it's going to be the first 10 subscribers that reach out to me, or if I reach out to them first. I'll probably do that first. But of course, it's subject to change. It might be more than 10. It depends on how much money I have or time. But you're going to get a free paperback copy when it's released. And it's going to have my signature probably right on the front page right here, as well as a little sticker of some sort to just kind of like represent me, and you'll know when I put that on. Yeah, we'll work something out. I'll reach out to you. I'll ship this out when it's released, so when I get my author copies and it gets shipped through, it's going to be easy for the States. I could ship it through post, and so you could get it anywhere from a week after release, possibly, or maybe a week or two after, because I had to get mine copy. Yeah. And then for those out of the States, like in Canada, my Canadian friends, I think that's all my subscribers in the US and Canada, and my friends, is it cheaper to ship? Wait, the shipping's like $17 international, so it'll be cheaper to just buy the book, but then you don't get the author, like, does it really matter though? You get it for free. We'll work something out. Maybe PayPal. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll ship it still. Who knows? That cost me a lot, but who cares? I already bought a lot, like from the ISBNs, and then buying the Huan drawing tablet and then Clip Studio license. That was, oh my goodness. Anyways, I'm gonna digress. You know. Yeah, I wrote Beyond Heaven. and publishing it. And to be honest, I'm gonna tell you straight off the bat, even though it's a satire and it kind of satirizes like the publishing and reading industry to a degree, as well as some tropes and other stuff. I wrote this not just because I can write it and I could self-publish it and bam, it's a book. And I know that, hey, if I don't give a crap, then, we're just gonna have some weird receptions, or maybe it's good receptions. You never know. Everything's weird. To me, I wrote this because, not because I don't care. I care about the reception. I really don't, unless it's maybe good reception, I guess. I would be like, oh, thanks. I really appreciate it, really, because I wrote this and I make content on YouTube because, it's the same goal, it's the same story. I just do it because I hope that it could reach out to someone and lighten their day, make their day, If they're going through tough times, that's why I make this book. I mean, it helped me when I was a kid, when everyone's racist and bullies you and then you suffer from super depression. Anyways, deep times. Anyways, YouTube videos are just content, video games, anything, even funny shows, anime, things that get your mind off, you start to appreciate it more and more. You start to appreciate like small YouTubers or big YouTubers like Ryan Higa and Smosh and all those YouTubers, like, remember Kev Jumba? Just kidding. Really though. You got the rocket jumps in Corridor. There was so many good YouTubers out there in the past, and that kind of gets you going, and it brings you and just it helps you a little bit, and you appreciate this, and that's why I make this content. It's not just because it's like, oh, this book sucks, or oh, this book doesn't conform to society. No, I don't care about those reviews or those thoughts. I care about the one person out there's like, this book made my day, or this video made me laugh. It made me smile. I like this video. I like this book. If it's a small thing, if it has to be this small, it doesn't matter. If it's one person at a time, that's why I do this. That's why I do this, folks. It's just because it helped me. I hope to help you. I hope this can reach out to people if they really do like it. And if they really do like it, I can make another book. It depends if you like it or not. Because if I'm just freaking out to no one, I feel like it's a little bit sad on my part. Anyways, like, it got a little bit sad, but the deal. Maybe you don't. Who knows? But yeah, that's why I made the book. That's why I do this YouTube channel. But I hope you guys will enjoy this book when it's released. I hope you guys can read it for what it is, which is an actual story. And I hope you guys can read it a second or third time and then maybe email me or DM me. Like maybe even just have a list of just bullet points of like, chapter X has this satire, chapter Y has this satire, chapter Z has this, because each chapter has more than one satire, mostly maybe. And it would be interesting to see how many people can catch it, especially the deep ones, especially the one I love the one in chapter 1 and 2 that connects each other. I'm spoiling a little bit on satire. I gotta stop. But it will be really interesting. When it's released, I'll follow up again. And I hope that whoever wants to be engaged in this stuff, I will absolutely respond back. And I will hint you, but I won't tell you what's in this book on the satire front, even when it's released. I want it to be like an experience, a discovery, even though you're reading it just for the story, not the satire. That's kind of like the sub genre. Yeah, so anyways, that's Beyond Heaven, a fiction fantasy book. I'm writing it, guys. I'm publishing it. Yeah. I don't sound excited, though. I mean, it's a lot of work. So, yeah, I just need to put my SkyTryke thing here because I'm a dingleberry and put it here and then I'm like, oh, what about this? I'll fix it out. And I have a month. Oh, that speaks of like pre-orders or something like that. I don't know if there's a lot of people who care about that or enough people supporting me to know. Amazon, I don't think they do paperback pre-orders. You could do it through Ingram, but I'm working on that, so it's kind of weird. Ebook, honestly, when it comes to pre-orders, I don't know if it's gonna happen. I'm trying to finish this by the end of June, so you'll probably see, if anything, on July. You could also check my website at skytryke.com, SKYTRYKE.com. I'll probably update that on any information regarding the book when it comes. It could be days, could be weeks, could be a month when that's uploaded. But yeah. And so yeah, if I'm unresponsive within a week, know that I'm on a cruise. Yep, never mind. You know, and then after that cruise, this thing's released. So that's kind of weird. Whoa. Whoa. Anyways, yeah, that's Beyond Heaven. I hope you guys do enjoy the book, enjoy my channel. For those who have stuck with me, and again, if you're a subscriber, I'll be reaching out to you, or if you reach out to me first, you'll get to receive a free copy of a paperback. It'll be a glossy finish, and you'll see a little signature and a little sticker. That sticker will be somebody that represents me, and you'll know that's from me. And for my Canadian viewers, I think I'll do the same. Probably, I'll do the shipping costs. Who cares? Because I care about you. Even though you might not care about me. I'm just kidding. I really don't care. I do wish to grow because I want to, again, my goal is expansive. I always want to reach out to other people. So even if it's one person at a time, maybe I'll be 1,000 subscribers or 100 subscribers one day. That's 100 people that I'm like, you know, maybe one day in the while, one video makes them happy, you know. That, you can't beat that, I think. I mean, yeah, you could wish for more, but come on. Realistic standards, realistic me. Do what I can do. Check out the book. You could get the ebook, you could get the paperback, you could get the hardcover when it's released. I prefer physical copies, like paperback especially. It's more affordable for the paperbacks, not the hardbacks. But it's something for ebooks. I mean, I can't do electronics. I've seen the EPUB file on the Kindles and the phone. It just doesn't look good on me. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. It's just, I prefer the physical. And honestly, the physical looks so good. It gives me my fonts, my Garamond. It blocks my dialogue correctly. I mean, I would prefer the paperback. But if you're not interested, don't worry. If you are interested, you could always preview it on the ebook. I believe you can preview the ebooks, like 20% of the whole book. You could preview it, which is, you know what? Why not? Go ahead, take a look at the preview. If you don't like it, don't ever buy it. If you do like it, you could buy the ebook. And if you really do like it, you could get the paperback. It's up to you, really. If you don't like it at all, you know, you could just leave. Don't even back on, please. Don't. I'm just kidding. Do what you want. You know, you got your First Amendment. Anyways. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you later. See ya.